is New Zealand's largest wine region, and the whole world knows that they make sensational Sauvignon Blanc there. In fact, sensational wines full stop. But what drives those wines is great talent, great people, great fruit, and a whole lot of love. First up, we're going bush and finding out what's hot in the Awatere.
It smells amazing.
Sharing secrets with Kim Crawford.
So we've most probably got one spanner rather than a full tool set.
It's going to be thirsty work, people, but someone's got to do it. If you ask anyone who makes wine in Marlborough what the best things about making wine in Marlborough are, chances are they'll tell you the ground, the weather, and the Marlborough sounds. So Jack and Chrissy are only too keen to take time out from their roles as sales and brand managers to show me around the Kaipupu Point Wildlife Sanctuary. Now this place encapsulates everything that the team love about Marlborough. Well, sun's out.
Yeah, I'm trying to warm up. Your hands up to the light.
Hands up to the light. Wow, big reveal. How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
So here's our Mud House Remu. So we planted this in 2014. We brought the whole Mud House team up here, including all the small people, and cruised around Kaipupu and planted the Remu tree to signify our Remu sponsorship of the sanctuary.
It's looking very healthy.
Yeah, it's still there. It's good to see. This is what we call a lizard hotel or sanctuary. So inside it, normally there's sort of bugs and invertebrates and different things living in it. But today there is...
They've all checked out.
They have.
No, the fantails have been here forever.
Yeah,
them and the Kiruru and Tui. We bring a lot of visitors up here, and it's just such a unique experience for them, particularly from overseas, their first time to New Zealand.
And you've been a volunteer here for a few years, Chrissy?
I have, since I moved to Picton. Yeah.
So what do you love about coming up here?
Just the serenity, and it's such a special place that the community is really getting behind, and to be part of that community in a small town is really cool.
Because you're ex-Auckland, right?
I am, yep. I saw the light and I came to the South Island.
But you're a Blenheim born and bred pretty much, aren't you?
Yeah. Families here. You'll kick around with my older brother. We both work at Mud House, but we were brought up sort of with this as a playground, like most of the locals in Marlborough. But the other thing about it is 20 years ago, the original founders of Mud House would have actually come in to Marlborough this way. They actually sailed in. There's a real nice synergy between the kind of people that are working for it and the personality of Mud House as a brand. Literally a walk up here, a good yarn, and the wines that speak for themselves.
I was going to say, the wines are actually not half bad.
Yeah. There's some guys there that do some reasonably good job.
Good stuff, good tropicals.
So the winemaking team at Mud House is captained by Ben Glover. But their Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Gris and Gewürztraminer are all carefully crafted by Nadine.
Yeast trial.
What is that?
Fusion.
Whereas the Pinot is coaxed along by Clayton Cornelius.
So what's this one, Clayton? So this is the wall shed. It's at the end of its ferment, so we won't do any hard plunging on this one.
And how long's it been on skins for?
We've had about 20 days at the moment, so may not get the usual 30 to 35. Hopefully it's gone dry. That's great.
It's good, great nose.
This is nice. It's kind of...
Therapeutic.
Yeah, really therapeutic. It smells amazing.
Yeah, it's got some great aromatics.
Kind of looks like something that you could just sort of dive into and swim around in. But of course that would not be safe, would it?
No.
We've got Abel and we've got Clone 5. The Abel is quite floral, has a good natural acid and also has nice kind of blue fruits that come with it.
Blue fruits, I like that.
And the Clone 5 is it's a bit of an old school clone, but it works really well. It's nice and juicy, and the two together work out really well. We've trialled over a few years.
Just a small batch of Marlborough Pinot that we do, because obviously most of the Mud House Pinot Noir resource comes out of Central Otago, or Bendigo in particular.
So Marlborough, Waipara, Central Otago.
Yes, South Island specialists.
Indeed.
Of all the three key regions in South Island.
Great southern men and women.
Yes.
As is further evidenced by the Mud House home base here in Marlborough. They aren't kidding when they call it the Woolshed. Many of Mud House's key wines grow right here in land surrounding the Woolshed, and the man in charge of those vines is Stephen Dempster. Stephen, you are the company viticulturist.
Yes.
Ben, you're the company winemaker.
Yep.
Do you ever kind of clash horns?
I think we're all trying to get to the same direction, but we have different ways of achieving it, perhaps.
That's a very polite way of saying it.
I'm the more diplomatic one.
Oh, come on.
So how does it work? You know, what does Ben demand from you?
Well, he obviously wants the best quality fruit that he can get to make the wines in the style that he's after. So sort of having a good idea of what he's looking for to achieve at the end. So that helps us decide what we're going to do in the vineyard throughout the year.
And I think the two of us have a pretty good idea of fruit flavour and flavour coming on. Stephen's got a pretty good palate for a gardener. And that's probably one of the... It's probably one of the hallmarks. There's not a lot that do have that aspect of their training or their skill. So we get to understand styles and different site aspects of what they can offer to the, say, particularly Mud House Sauvignon Blanc blend. This woolshed site's a real key, integral part of what we do. You've got clays which have really nice richness on the palate.
Right.
And you get up here some more of that sort of melon and grapefruit width. Down where you get down further here through the woolshed itself, you're onto some more gravel base, and you're almost into sort of almost like looking a riverstone characteristic. So you get the best of both worlds. And then I think just because we're a bit west of Renwick, we start getting into, from a fruit spectrum, those more sort of lemonade, lime, grapefruit, but it's the pithiness, not necessarily the fruit, and sometimes more the blossom side of it. So it's sort of a more of a pristine flavour profile and a bit more textural through the palate.
Sounds delicious.
It's good.
It's good.
Yes.
The other milestone being celebrated this year is that Mud House is turning 20. So the Woolshed Smokos are going to the next level. Do you know what? As soon as I sipped that wine, the Sauvignon Blanc then, I just thought, I'm going to inhale these mussels.
Yeah, it's a pretty perfect compliment.
Why do you reckon that is?
I just think the Woolshed Sauvignon just has a really nice line through the palate, so it's not necessarily all about fruit and vibrancy, but it has a very nice poise, quite crunchy acidity, and it gets your taste buds doing some work. So therefore, matches those type of foods, mussels, oysters, limes, you know, that sort of stuff. Even there's a dodgy little bit of pea tendril there.
Well, my favourite part about Woolshed Sauvignon is that it's bone dry and it shows purity. It doesn't rest on anything apart from what the vineyard gives and how the team put it together. So I like that. I like that pithiness and I like the length of flavour, and it carries salmon and mussels really well.
It's all in the vineyard. We can only
don't
We can only
Stephen any kudos.
Well done, Stephen.
Here's to good gardening.
Yeah, good gardening.
Stephen.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Cheers to the Woolshed.
Cheers.
Hooray.
Yeah, she's
Well, you can't. You've got no salt
I
in
know,
your
I've
glass.
already chopped it. That's how good it is.
It's kind of Marlborough on a plate. Fantastic. Coming up, compost, cows, and a new beginning. So you've decided to give this craft beer gig a go, but you're not sure exactly where to start to move away from your commercial beers. Well, if you're a brown bottle fan, I suggest you start with a pale ale because they're nice and rich and quite full flavoured. If, however, you're a green bottle fan, you can go for a pilsner. They're lifted, tangy and herbaceous and crisp, and they'll do you nicely. However, if you happen to be a fan of those Mexican beers with a little bit of fruit down the spout, chances are you like something with a bit of sour to it, so go a sour beer, like this one. Now they're sour because they've had a bit of Brettanomyces added, so they're really tangy and they're all the rage. If, however, you're after a meal in a glass, look no further than a lovely, rich, toasty, chocolatey stout. Or a porter would do just as nicely. But if you're like me and your favourite time to indulge in good beer is when you've just finished mowing the lawns, then go an IPA. They're really tangy and crunchy crisp and loaded with flavour. There we go. Ta-da! After setting up and then selling their hugely successful wine brand Kim Crawford, Kim and Erica Crawford set about creating something very different in the Awatiri Valley. It's an organic vineyard and a working farm called Loveblock.
My vision for Loveblock has always been not only to have vineyards, but to have a fully integrated, working, diverse organic farm. So we've obviously got certification for the vineyards there, and we put out certified organic wine. Also, all of these paddocks that you see here are certified organic, because my long-term plan is to have Loveblock organic grass-fed beef and sell it to a restaurant in New York.
That's exciting.
Be diverse.
Wow.
And we're also looking at maybe some crops can grow here.
This view is just mind-numbing.
They've always owned a little vineyard down the bottom of the hill, and this was just a tack-on extension that came available.
So this is, I suppose, the place for me. You know when your troubles lift for a little while?
No, I don't really know that.
Well, it happens here sometimes. What we didn't know at the time, probably some of the most difficult soils in Marlborough, coupled with a wind, which blows more than 110 kilometres an hour regularly, coupled with a bronze beetle, has been really quite a challenging.
How heartbreaking.
So we've learned things.
So how on earth did the vineyard, well, the vineyard didn't survive, did it?
No, those bits there didn't, but the stuff planted further down the hill is fine.
And so when we redesign this particular G block here, we'll just plant it differently. And there are a number of issues, like, the soil is very depleted and very low in organic matter, so we're working on that. Then we also know that there are 3 little patches that would make 3 really good small little vineyards where we'd really love to put Chenin Blanc back in and Moscato back in. Those 2 things for me. So it really is a long-term thing. We're not selling this.
No. She says.
She says.
Has this been the steepest learning curve ever?
Well, I think we're getting more back into, so we used to sit in the office and do things on the computer because that's what we had to do, but we're more back into the land now, I suppose. So actually doing...
As a couple together, yeah. It's all in the name. It's like small scale, massive love. You can feel it, you know.
You can taste it in the wine.
The team on the ground here are these 2. Mel and Doug keep the farm ticking along when Kim and Erica are busy making wine and running the business. But the spot where you can most often find Doug, a qualified viticulturist and organic farming expert, is on top of the hill making compost. Doug, this is quite possibly the biggest compost heap I have ever seen.
It smells amazing.
Standing right here at the moment.
It smells the most beautiful, earthy, grapey, gorgeous organic smell.
When you get to about, when that compost being out for about 2 weeks, that's when it's, it's really fruitcakey because of the grapes.
It is, it's really fruitcakey. It's getting there, eh?
Yeah.
What do you think it actually brings to the vineyard sites?
They're sort of more resilient, like they can cope with the fluctuation of temperature, like we get pretty bad winds and stuff through here, and the vines that have had the compost do seem to cope with it a lot better. And the prunings too, traditionally that's mulched into the ground, but a lot of diseases on grapes will overwinter on grapevine material. So if you composted it, you'll kill those, when you get it up to 70 degrees, it's going to kill all those pathogens off.
You're a complete compost expert, really, aren't you? You sound like one.
I've had my hands in it for a while.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm the vineyard manager here at Loveblock. It's all about the soil. It's making sure that if the soil's healthy, everything else rolls on after that. Our aim is to make sure that we keep everything in balance and keep it well fed. We've got some black oats here that have gone to seed, so we're using these to generate some leafy green material that we can work back into the soil to boost our organic matter, which will feed all the microbes within the soil. We've got some yarrow here, some alyssum, some Phacelia and some Flanders poppy, and so those are all based around helping bring beneficial insects into the vineyard to try and help stimulate a natural response to any pest or disease that we have in the vineyard. Organics is a thing I'm quite passionate about, and we get to carry that out here, and it's great to see that all follow through and then into such a great end product.
The hub of the Loveblock wheel is nestled out of the wind and down in the valley. It's a converted shearer's quarters that now acts as a shed, a workshop, an office and a smoker room.
If I lived on a vineyard, it would be terrible. I'd just be hoovering. Cheers. Cheers to smoker. Day here. Yeah.
Coming up, we're waiting for Porky, and Kim Crawford shares an organic ferment with us. and Erica Crawford spent decades building up one of the world's most famous brands. Then they did a complete 180 and embarked on an ambitious project that was small on scale and big on love. At the Awatiri River Winery across the road, Kim is now making wine with organic grapes. And occasionally he gets a bit of a helping hand from his son Rory as well. Far out, she's foamy.
She's in the middle of fermentation. So.
Okay, all right.
So this is our organic Pinot Gris. So from just up the way there in the woolshed. Fairly explicit instructions from my wife on the style she wants. So,
so what are those explicit
it's got to be delicate.
Yep.
Yeah. So she really despises those cloying Pinot Gris. So it's going to be dry as well. So it's a little bit of a challenge making dry Pinot Gris because to get the flavour ripeness, you've got to push the sugars, and then going dry is actually quite difficult. But
I can imagine it, but you can even the aromas that you get in the tank in the middle of ferment. There's that mineral kind of flinty character already coming through.
Yeah, I think the vineyard seems to have great minerality for some reason. I don't really know why, but the acids are always very high. And I think with organics, because the vine struggles so much with the weeds and things like that, it's a different fruit source, fruit component for us. So it's much more, I suppose, a natural ripening of the berry rather than the forced one.
Forced ripening,
which we do with the sustainable stuff.
So tell me about what it's like making organic wine now in your life, because you spent most of your early winemaking career
doing the opposite.
Doing the complete opposite.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest difference with organics is we've got very little in our toolbox, so we've most probably got one spanner rather than a full tool set. They always look untidy.
They do. They look a bit unmanicured, a little bit scruffy. Yeah. That's all right though.
But and it does reduce our yield, so we never overcrop on organics. You can't.
So what do you think it is about this patch of ground, your love block, that actually brings out those flavours?
I think it's the lower Dashwood area which we're in now especially in Sauvignon Blanc, is renowned for having a very strong stone fruit presence rather than the typical herbaceousness of Sauvignon Blanc.
And do you have to do anything to the soil to kind of boost it, to give it any kind of extra
On top of the hill, yes, there's been a disaster. Very high sodium in the soil, sodium content in the soil, so it's almost poisonous. So the vine's roots would go down and then they'd turn around and come back up again because they didn't like what they were going into. So we had to put 5 tonnes per hectare of gypsum on to neutralise the sodium so that the plants will grow. And
have you ever experienced anything like that before?
No, but then we've never really planted on a hill before. Yeah, it's been quite a strong learning.
But you're loving it?
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, we only deal with fruit off our own property, so I don't have to deal with anybody else, apart from my wife, and that's not there as well.
Kim's wife Erica has planned a very special sensory garden next to the woolshed. One designed specifically around the flavours and scents in their Sauvignon Blanc.
So this is our organic Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh my goodness, I can smell it from here as you're pouring.
Pops out the glass, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it doesn't just pop, it just kind of bursts. This is so great that we've, sitting in your, what is going to be, your sensory garden with all the little plants. What have we got sitting along here, the smaller plants?
We've got a bit of fennel, because I think it's particularly a fennel bulb. This gnarly one time.
Oh, for sure.
For sure?
Yeah. It's lemon, it's lime, there's a bit of sort of preserved lemon in there. And I get lemongrass. It's crazy how many different layers of aroma are in this wine. This is so tasty. I was busy thinking...
14, I know.
There's peach, there's lemon, there's lime.
Oh, jalapeno at the end.
It's beautiful. Well, yeah, capsicum and jalapeno and white pepper and crazy things. And I can still taste it. And it's completely organic.
Yeah, this is certified, yeah. So I'm really proud of that, because it's hard.
Proud of it.
It's hard. And it's got nice texture. And the wine really comes alive when there's a little bit of food. So it really carries and covers a wide range of foods.
Damn true. The lovely thing about the organic nature of the Loveblock is just that, the love. As well as the grapes, farm manager Mel has taken on loving not only the chickens, but also a couple of very special feathered friends. So this is breakfast for
Porky or Martha, depending on who gets here first.
And they are, Porky and Martha are your
They're our resident falcons. They're such neat things to have around, they're amazing birds. They're rarer than our New Zealand kiwi, which is super important, I think. And I feel really privileged to be able to feed them and look after them and nurture them. And they're quite tame, Porky. You'll get quite close.
Brilliant. And you've worked here for a long time. Well, you've worked with Kim and Erica for a
I've
while.
been on this property. This is my 7th season, so it's my 7th harvest here. And it's a pretty cool place to work. I love the fact that we're not a monoculture vineyard. We have farm animals as well. I love the fact that we're doing the biodynamics and the organics. To me,
Is that something
that's
that you've
really
got a lot of
important. I'm quite
experience
passionate about that. The conditions are harsh, but it's working. You know, the biodynamics, especially the organics block down here, is really, really working.
Next to Loveblock is historic Oakbrook House. The original farmhouse for a massive sheep station, it's now a lovely place to stay for Erica and Kim. And the old servants' quarters are now a little kitchen where Erica's preparing a traditional South African dish called babuti, which is a perfect lunch to keep the crew going at harvest time and perfect with Loveblock Pinot Noir. Kim's not far away. We've left a space for him, Erica. What's he up to?
He's just dropping a few bins of hand-picked ultra premium Sauvignon, so he's really fussy about those grapes. I'm really pleased with the way this wine's developing. This is the second vintage from the little vineyard in Central Otago, and of course we didn't know where it was going to go, but really, really pleased with the way, we see a definite handprint of mushroom in there and lovely black fruit.
Spices too, really nice spices and red fruits. I'm trying to think of what this wine reminds me of.
It's very forest floor. And, the bush when it's been raining.
Raindrops down a velvet cloak.
I wasn't expecting that. Raindrops running down a velvet cloak.
You're a poet.
He's such a poet. What's it like working for your parents? Honestly.
It's like working for anyone else, but you get paid less.
Is it quite fun knowing that, you can pour a glass of Loveblock wine and go, I did part of that. That's me in that bottle.
Yeah. That's the best part about it.
Cheers to that. Cheers. All right. Cheers. Hooray.